Hi YouTube, I'm Shelly and welcome to my 25 bookish facts about me video. I'm just going to jump right into it. So number one, I tend to fall asleep when I read. I was conditioned that way by my parents. They used to read to me every night before bed, so now I just naturally fall asleep before I read. Number two, I tend to collect multiple copies of different books or of the same book because I just love to have a collection, almost like a library. I just love it. Also because I like to have a paperback version of a book and also a hard copy version. So kind of unique. Number three, also another reason I like to have multiple copies of the book is because I tend to be really hard on books. So I like to have one book where that is completely preserved, and then I like to have one book. My daughter is playing this video game, and so I like to have one book that's completely preserved and pristine, and then one book that I can just kind of toss around because I'm completely rough on them. Okay, I think I'm on number 4. So I'm just going to say number 4. It's hard to keep track of this list. It's a lot. Number 4. I like to eat sunflower seeds while I eat. I'm more of a tactile learner, so just that stimulation of doing something helps me process and is relaxing. So I tend to eat sunflower seeds. I try to stay away from big meals while I'm eating because it's a little too messy, flipping the books, and it's just too messy, so I don't do that. Number 5. Oh my gosh, it's going to be crazy hard. Number 5, I tend to get motion sick when I read in like cars or even on the airplane. I kind of have to face myself. I don't know if this is a typical thing, but I get it really bad to the point where I have to lay down and close my eyes because it just really makes me completely sick. Number 6, sign language for you. Number 6, I tend to get most of my books used. I don't really like paying a whole lot for books, especially since I tend to be so rough on them and I like to have a lot of them. So I either go to thrift stores or library sales, my favorite, amen to library sales. And also sometimes I get them for free. Sometimes people give me books. So that's really awesome too. So I can get a lot of them. Number 7, I tend to go with whatever Oprah says is a great book. Yes, I am a part of that Oprah book club. I look for the little sticker and I stalk her Instagram page and see which author she's promoting. Even when she had her show, I would kind of see who was on the show, and like Brene Brown and just so many that I would follow. Even Underground Railroad recently I love, and that was one of her recommendations on her Instagram page. I think I'm on number 8. I tend to travel with a book with me all the time. It's come in handy so many times for boring situations. I just love having a book on my person so that I can pull it out and read it if something's going really boring or something I want to avoid. Kind of sit and read. Number 9, I tend to keep a book in each room of the house. So in the kitchen, cookbooks, even though I'm not the best cook, living room, even bedrooms, of course, and even the bathroom. I try and keep magazines, or I'll try and take a book with me. I'm kind of clumsy, so I try to get my best not to get it wet. I guess we're on 10 now. 10. Oh my gosh, this is so hard. Oh, my favorite book is Homegoing right now. At first, for a long time, it was the 5 Love Languages. But the writing in Homegoing was so beautiful that I just that became my number 1. And not that it's not 5 Love Languages isn't a great book, it's just Homegoing was beautiful. I guess this is 11. I tend to read all kind of genres of books. So I love sci-fi books. I love chick lit books. I just go whatever. I just love all types of books. Which goes into number 12, which is I go through phases of books. So like I said, I go through my sci-fi phase. I'll go through my my chick lit phase. But I kind of read all these, and even like self-help books or soul opening books. I think Oprah said something like that. Enrichment. I kind of read them all together in chunks. I don't really go from like sci-fi to chick lit to African American. I kind of read it together. Personal preference. Number, I guess 13. 13. I tend to like the paper version of books best. I just love the feeling of closure. I have no idea if I said this. If I said this already, let me clarify even more. I like Kindle books when I'm flying, but I prefer because it's so much more convenient. But otherwise, I like the flip through the pages. But when I'm on an airplane, yeah, heck yeah, I love to kind of just toss it in there. You can have like 3 books at one time. Again, forgive me if I said that already. It's hard to keep up with this. Audiobooks. I've been trying to get into audiobooks. I guess this could be 14 in sign language. No, 14 in sign language. Sorry. 14, like I said, I'm trying to get into audiobooks. I can't. People have really sold me on them. You can walk around and read them. I'm trying. I have audiobooks here, but it's so hard to get, for me to get into it, because again, I like the paper versions of books so much more. 17, I think. Somewhere around there, 17, 16. I tend not to put the Bible on the floor. For that book, I was always raised to be kind of reverent with it, so it never touches the floor. I try my best not to put Bibles on the floor. 18. This is getting tough. 18. Oh, I didn't read a lot in college. I was just so busy. I just did not have time. So now it's a great time in my life where I can really read, and I've really been enjoying it. I haven't had to put my personal reading off to the side because it was so much study. So I've really been enjoying this time of my life. 19, I think around 19. Along the lines of the college thing, I have kept a lot of my college books over here. Because I've got my master's in political science, and this is a really interesting time in government, if you haven't noticed. So I like referring to my books and saying, that doesn't sound quite right. Is that okay? Or is that what government does? Let me look back at that. So I guess it's a good time, as far as kind of looking back, and I wish I would have kept more of my college books to, refer to. Because it's just interesting, some of the basics of government for me. Okay, so I think this is 21. I'm going to skip ahead if it's not 21. I love reading to my daughter, and she told me to add this in. According to her, I'm very good at it. So, yeah, I do, because I do the voices and everything. Like I said, I get really into my reading. 22. I like picture books. Even when I'm not reading to my daughter, I just like looking at the pages. I think the art is beautiful. The illustrations are beautiful. It's just really awesome. 23. 23. I'm trying to think. This is so tough. I've always wanted to be an author. One day, if I do, I love writing. So one day, if I do become an author, I would love to write like historical nonfiction. I tend to gravitate towards more nonfiction books. So towards more fiction books. I kind of stay away from nonfiction and biographies. So yeah, I would probably write historical nonfiction historical fiction because that's my favorite genre type of book. I've always wanted to own a bookstore. So whichever we're on, 24, 25, I've always wanted to own a bookstore. And I would also love to have a program where I could help people who don't have access to books, which is so awesome. I feel like books should be available to everyone, which is probably part of the reason why I don't like to spend a whole lot on books all the time, because I feel like it should be readily available for everyone. And then last but not least, bookstore. There is something else I wanted to say. Last but not least, this is crazy how tough this was, getting through 25 things about me. And I'll probably think of more when this is over, and I'll probably make a continuation of this. But the fun thing about me is I've worked at libraries, museums, and archives. But I'm not a librarian, and I'm not an archivist. But the great thing about working at those places is I learned classification systems, and I even had a chance to be in an archivist program where I could become an archivist. I just decided that wasn't the path for me, but I still have a special place in my heart for books and library studies and people who study libraries. And it just makes it so much easier when you know the classification system and you can just go right to that book. So thank you so much for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe. I'll see you later. Bye.